So as you can probably see, it's rather chilly today in Francistown. The weather's about 19 degrees, which is quite cool for this part of the world. We're in the southern hemisphere, so coming to the end of the winter. It's the Zebras against the Flames. Remember, we have a home and away format here with the 28 weakest ranked teams in Africa looking to make it to the second round. And after that, it's a group format. And then after that, 10 more head-to-heads. We're going back to the format that was used 2 World Cups ago, after it was changed for Russia 2018. So Botswana against Malawi. It's going to be starting in a few minutes' time. As you can see, these fans very much looking forward to it. There's about 27,000 capacity in Francistown. We're right on the east edge of the country, as the fans make their way for this match. It's a double-header, Botswana against Malawi. And we've already had many matches already. This is one of the last double-headers to get going. Ethiopia and Lesotho had a 0-0. All been very tight matches so far, you know, with Burundi, Tanzania 1-1, Namibia winning 2-1 at Eritrea. South Sudan and Equatorial Guinea were 1 apiece. Mozambique squeezing past Mauritius 1-0 away. Djibouti beating Eswatini 2-1. Guinea-Bissau got a 1-0 win at Sao Tome. Liberia, a 3-1 win, a rather controversial 3-1 win against Sierra Leone. Rwanda, they're surely through after a 3-0 win at the Seychelles. Sudan 3-1 at Chad. And Somalia and Angola also winning their first leg. Remember, it's over 2 legs. The return for this match will be on Tuesday. So it's Botswana against Malawi. I have a bit of team news for you already. It's bad team news, unfortunately, for Botswana. Segolan Boy, one of their better players, cannot be here because of family commitments. He's been replaced by Elias Mbatsi. And Kabalo Sikanyang is also unavailable because of some work permit issues coming back from Europe. But nevertheless, Botswana delighted to have Joel Mogorosi, their real talisman and forward, up front with Gaswane and Setsile. They'll be looking for goals from them. For Malawi, well, they have Mango and Mbulu up front looking for the goals as the teams get ready to come out. Botswana led for the first time by the new coach, Adel Amarouche, the Algerian-born Belgian national. As we just get ready for the pre-match formalities. Botswana against Malawi. So as you can see, the sun coming out. It was very blustery earlier on in Francistown. Rather better conditions for football today. Our coach is Anthony Ogwayo from Kenya. As we just get ready for the traditional pre-match handshake and national anthems, as 2 countries get ready for their World Cup adventure, Botswana and Malawi.
We have a PFA president, our guest of honor. We have the mayor of the city of All Things Precious, the city of Francistown. We have the HOD, the head of department, the head of delegation from Malawi, the permanent secretary for the Ministry of Youth Empowerment, Sport and Culture Development.
So the pre-match ceremony taking place with the dignitaries from Malawi. We've made about a 1,500-kilometre journey southwest to Francistown. It's not the capital. Football being played here on the east side of the country. Capital is Gaborone, in this country of about 2.5 million people. As the Zebras get ready to go in their light blue shirts, Malawi in the red, as we prepare for the national anthems. Currently ranked 147 are Botswana, so that's quite low for them. Their opponents today, 126. So if you look at the rankings, it should be fairly close. Malawi, in their history, have been as high up as 53 back in 1992. Botswana got to 53 in 2010. But nevertheless, Botswana pretty confident at the moment. They had a very good COSAFA Cup, the regional competition. They got all the way to the final, where they lost to the regional heavyweight Zambia with a late goal. But that was very encouraging for Botswana. And they have a new coach, Adel Amrouche, the Algerian, who took over from Mogomotsi Mpote, who was in charge over the summer. And let's see what Amrouche can do. We'll be talking a little bit more about him during the course of the match. He's coached Equatorial Guinea, Burundi, Kenya and Libya as Amrouche, so he knows a lot about African football. And let's see if he can push Botswana on into the second round.
Thank you. Now the national anthem of Botswana. The national anthem of Botswana.
There are the national anthems, which actually have very similar names. You know, Malawi's is called God Bless Our Land of Malawi, and Botswana's is simply called God Bless Our Land. Two very different songs with similar lyrics. So the pre-match ceremony's nearly over. We've had the anthems, and you can see exactly what it means to the players. This may be the first round of qualifying, but it's a huge day for these teams. And they'll be dreaming of a spot in the second round where they'll be going up against the heavyweights, a group of 4, which means 6 matches. And it's very important to teams at this level that they get a lot of competition. And there is financial aid from the Confederation of African Football as well for those matches that will be played home and away in a round-robin format. As you can see, it's windy, not for the first time. Some of the benches have been blown over, and let's hope that there's no danger there. It's fairly light-hearted for the moment, but wind can cause some problems. Let's hope it doesn't for this very important match indeed. Botswana then in the blue. The Zebras looking for home advantage. And their coach has been saying Adel Amrouche, that he is looking for a first leg lead, as you would expect. Not easy to go to Malawi at all. That match will be on Tuesday. The stadium fits about 27,000 people. It's not full, as you can see, but there's a good atmosphere warming up here. Best performance for the Zebras over the years in African qualifying for the Cup of Nations was 2012. They've never qualified, obviously, for the World Cup itself. Hoping to go deep this time. This is the team for you. As I was saying, look out up front for Mogorotsi, the captain, the talisman. And he'll be hoping to get one or two today. The number 17 in blue, Joel Mogorotsi. 44 caps for him, and looking for a 10th goal. He'd be delighted to get into double figures. They're the match officials, led by Anthony Ogwayo, and they're all from Kenya. Made the long journey down from Central Africa. Two 17s are the captains. For Malawi, it's John Banda, who's proudly wearing the captain's armband. Let's look at the visiting team then. Brighton Montali in goal. Mango and Mbulu should be going up front. So we're looking for John Banda to be inspirational as well. But Mango is probably their key player up front. Gabadino Mango, who plays for the Orlando Pirates in South Africa. A really dangerous player in the box. Well, that's nice to see. The players going to the fans before the game. Looking to add some heat, if any was necessary, on a rather chilly day in Francistown in the east of Botswana. As I was saying, it's about 18, 19 degrees, which is fairly cool for this part of the world. The winner over 180 minutes will advance to the group stage against the continent's giants. Botswana on a high after reaching the final of the Qualifier Cup. Malawi, over the years, have had the better of clashes between these two teams. They've won 11. Botswana have won just 5, have the Zebras. Let's see what they can do in Francistown today. The stadium opened in 2015. Quite an impressive stadium, as you can see, with a 27,000 capacity. World Cup record over the years for Botswana. 10 wins, 19 losses, 5 draws. They've never got close, really, to getting to the World Cup finals. There are 5 places, of course, available for African nations. 54 countries starting out on the long, long road to Qatar. First round of 28 lower-ranked teams, and these two both outside of the top 100 in world football. Togo and Angola, the only teams taking part in the first round who've reached the finals. We're underway. Botswana against Malawi, the first leg of this World Cup first round clash. Botswana in the blue shirts, kicking from left to right. They would love to get an early start with a goal or two. There's bound to be some nerves. It's a big, big game for these players. Who will be first to settle? Here's Setsile, the number 7, play down the left. He's a tricky wide player. He's a real crowd favourite, but cut out by Pidi, who's a key player for Malawi. Look out for him, the number 10. Has that ball gone out? It has. To Gerald Piri, who also plays in South Africa. As you might expect, many of these players based in South Africa. He plays for Baroka FC, does Piri. And he's a real dangerous character. And on this left-hand side, Malawi will attack through their centre forward, Mbulu. As I was saying, it was a good summer for Botswana getting to the final of that Qualifier Cup. Looking to Karen here, was that a foul? No. But the first shot for Malawi, and it goes just wide from Piri. Well, Jeddah Pili, the man I was saying could be the danger man, showed why there. Nice early shot from him. It's a good angle to see it went just wide of that left-hand post, and Dambe was a bit relieved, I think, that that went the other side of the post. He was beaten, but Gerald Pili, who came from Ajax Cape Town and is now enjoying his football in Baroka. He was the player of the tournament, you know, in the 2019 Kosovo Cup. So, a danger man. And Botswana will know all about that. There's Botswana's coach, Adel Amrushe. Malawi led by Meke Mwaze today. It's been a good start for the visitors. These opening few minutes, they seem to have settled quite well. And Piri, the number 10, already seeing lots of the ball. He's a man to look out for. He's one of the tallest players on the pitch as well. He stands out. First touch for Petro, the centre-back in red. Over to that far side, and Sanudi is the number 2 in red today. Attacking right back, does love to get forward, and he's going to take this throw. Botswana, Malawi then, first leg. And 177 minutes left to play. It's going to be a real scrap between these regional teams in Southern Africa. And Botswana got all the way to that Kosovo Cup final. They beat South Africa on penalties, which is a real achievement for them. After a 2-2 draw, they beat Lesotho 2-1 in the semis before losing 1-0 in that final to Zambia. Kasebe's goal near the end. So it was a very, very solid summer for Botswana. Malawi lost to Zambia in the quarters, but some encouraging signs for them as well in the Kosovo Cup. They have some defending to do here. With Ngele to Matumo. Botswana just looking to calm is Galalwe. The first touch on the ball for him. Matumo is the number 20. Matumo and Galalwe, the 2 centre-backs. And they're struggling a bit there. It was Matumo whose first touch wasn't the best. Have to improve that. It did say late. And the first foul going the way of the Blues. It's the Zebras against the Flames this afternoon. Chance for Mogorotsi to run onto that. Tries to strike, and it was an early one off the post. Well, what a great effort it was from Mogorotsi, and he was desperately unlucky. It bounced off the post, and Montali was completely beaten there. A real let-off for the visitors. So close to 1-0. We've had a very good start with 2 good shots already, and one has come off the post. And Brighton Montali is a very, very relieved goalkeeper. The turn, the shot, really from nowhere. It was a great opportunist effort, and so close. And Mogorotsi desperately unlucky. Close to a 10th international goal, the captain. Just shows how dangerous he is, and Malawi have been warned. They shouldn't have needed any warning. Probably the best player in blue as a crunching tackle comes in. Sambani on the receiving end of that. So close there for Joel Mogorotsi, veteran of the team. Might be his last chance to play some World Cup qualifiers, so he'll be as motivated as anyone to get through this double header. So Mogorotzi's hit the post, and Piri has come very close. What a bright start we've had, but it's still 0-0 between Botswana and Malawi in Francistown. It's just hacked clear by Lelanyene. Sambani. And the tackles are flying in, aren't they? Lelenyane is the right back, the number 5. There he is in your picture. I wonder if Adel Amrouche has given just a couple of instructions to make the presence known and get some tough challenges in early on. We certainly have had some of those. Played in a good spirit, though. No goals. Botswana hit the post. Galalwe doesn't look too comfortable so far. Botswana at the back. Probably a good idea there, just to clear his lines. From Matumo. 8th minute of play. It's been a very bright start to this match. We have 180 minutes of very important and very interesting football ahead of us. With two teams that have improved and did well in the Kosovo Cup, but that's a strange tackle from Lelenyane, who's already shown his physical presence. Big number 5. Not easy either for our referee, Anthony Ogwayo, today. Why? Could have been a bit dangerous, that. And Lelenyane has got away with it, but I think the message from the Kenyan referee is just to cool it. I feel a bit of sympathy for Mango because he's actually been penalised for that. I think he quite understands that either. Lelenyane hits it long. No problem there, but second ball picked up by the light blues, and it's going to be a free kick for the Zebras of Botswana. And Gale won it. This is surely too far out. These fans have had a enjoyable opening 9 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Joel Mogarossi has hit the post, and Gerald Peary has come very close to hitting a post. He just went to the other side of Dumbay's post. Could have been 1-1. It's 0-0. Brighton Montali just sorting out his defence, but he hasn't done it there, but he has made a decent save. The Malawi defence really fell asleep there. And this man, Brighton Montali, had to be aware. It wasn't a very difficult save, but he had to make it, and he had to hold on to it. Plenty of chances so far. Lelenyane hits it long. Galalwe clears. Certainly two teams that are looking for goals. We can't say it's defensive here, but my word, that could have been dangerous. Mbulu getting a kick in the head, and you can see Mango's not happy at all, and that could have been dangerous. Lelenyane is playing with fire at the moment. As our FIFA observer, it was, to say a high tackle is putting it mildly. Look at that. No holds barred from Lelenyane, and he's a very lucky man, I think, not to see a card. Let's see if he will get a card after that. He'll be fortunate. Some countries, well, that would have been a straight red, wouldn't it? Thabo Lelenyane, the guilty party that time. There's Meke Mwaze. And there's not even a card for that, so, well, judge that for yourself. Some people would describe that as a kung fu type tackle, but I think proponents of kung fu might complain and say you don't get that in the martial art. This man probably can't quite believe it, Meke Mwaze. Thankfully, no harm done, and Mbulu is okay, but he's just had a massive kick to the head. And Malawi can't make anything of that safely into the arms of Dumbe. Here's Lelenyane. He's put in a couple of huge challenges already. He has to be careful, the number 5. There's the big man, Ditsele. As you can see, the number 18, he's a defensive midfielder, looking to protect that back four and link the defence to Mogorossi. He's the danger man up front, the 17 in your picture now. He's already hit the post. And Malawi will definitely need to look out for him this afternoon. He's talking about Adel Amrouchi. Just saying, much travelled, Belgian national, born in Algeria. He's coached Equatorial Guinea, Burundi, Kenya, Liberia, most recently in Algeria with Maloudia Alger. The last 4 coaches before him were from Botswana. Again, a shot comes in, and again, Muntali is equal to it. Elects to clear quickly this time, getting it straight up to Mango. Here's Mango, a dangerous character. Really good with the ball at his feet, and again, a crunching tackle. And again, it's Lanyane, and surely it's a yellow this time, yeah. I don't think Lanyane can complain too much. It's at least the 3rd heavy challenge. Arguably not the worst one. That was the strike from Ngeli. So Lanyane already in the book. And Piri with the free kick. And it's, yeah, see what he was doing, trying to get in the near side, but Dambe equal to that. Botswana have had one other match in 2019, which was a defeat to Angola in qualifying for the African Nations Cup. Botswana's campaign was absolutely disastrous. They only picked up 1 point, only scored 1 goal in 6 AFCON qualifiers, so they need to improve on that if they're going to beat a tidy Malawi team. John Banda hits it long, ambitious. There are 2 Bandas in this team, John and Peter. It's John on the pitch at the moment. Quarter of an hour, and lots to talk about so far, especially Lenignani's tackling. He has a yellow card. Mogorosi's shooting, which was excellent, but not quite good enough. Striking a post. Cabello Dambe and Brighton Muntali have been 2 quite busy keepers so far. That was Kaswane trying the run. Thwarted by Sambani, number 19. Gets the ball again. Kaswane to Cooper. Very skillful character is Cooper. Likes the ball at his feet, comfortable on the ball. Is Matusi Cooper. If you get the chance to see that semi-final against Lesotho, he made an absolutely brilliant assist. Super control and pass for the opening goal against Lesotho. Matosi Cooper, one to look out for in the future, the number 15 in blue today. Sixteenth minute of play, no goals, but plenty to talk about. Malawi visiting Botswana. The return is on Tuesday, not to be missed. I think this is going to be a close one. Don't think there'll be too many goals between these 2 nations. Over the years, Malawi have had the better. 11 wins, 7 draws, and only 5 wins for Botswana. 2 nations who know each other pretty well. Cooper, well, I said he was skillful, and that was a nice touch. Cooper gets it back. Not the strongest man on the pitch, but certainly one of the most skillful. It was a nice touch. Lenignane again, powerful figure of Lenignane. Sambani with a throw. And things have settled down after Furious opening 10 minutes. Cholopi is the big number 4. There's Cholopi again, plays for B Forward Wanderers in the domestic league. They've been forward so far, haven't they, Malawi? No one can accuse them of coming here to defend. Sambani again, seeing a lot of the ball in the early minutes. Sambani looking for the give and go with Piri. Malawi have some dangerous characters in Piri, Mbulu and Mango, the number 11, who's already looked to dribble down the left, the number 11. He's on the end of the box, but won't get to that. It was well held by Dambe. Another free kick. We've seen a lot, haven't we, of Mango in these early stages. Diminutive left-sided midfield player who can give and take some heavy tackles, put it that way. I think that battle between Mango and Lenenyane is going to be key. Look out for the number 11 in red and the right back for the Zebras. The other end of the pitch now. See what they can do down the right. It should be well handled, but it wasn't. There's a bit of panic in the Botswana defence. Galalwe, I thought, had it, but he couldn't deal with it. And suddenly Dambe has got a nasty blow. Kabelo Dambe really shouldn't have had to do that because Galalwe could have dealt with it. He didn't, and that doesn't look nice at all. See the number 4 just diving in. The cross came in when probably it shouldn't, and I have to say Mbulu had every right to go for that. Some of the Botswana fans not happy, but you know, when you're a centre forward, Richard Mbulu, you see a sniff of a goal, you have the right to go for it. And to be fair, I don't think Dambe's complaining too much. So no harm done. It's been a physical encounter so far as well. So it's still 0-0. There'll be a few bumps and bruises at the end of this match, but for the moment, no goals. Malawi have come closest early on with that shot from Piri, and then Mogorossi hitting the post. So both teams count themselves a touch unlucky not to have scored. Lenenyane again, got to be very careful as the right back. Justifiably picked up a yellow. There's Gerald Piri. Free kick goes the way of the hosts. Anthony Ogwayo is from Kenya, our referee today. He's been quite a busy ref so far, hasn't he? Just for a second, Matumo wanted to go long, but I think he heard the shouts from his coach, Adel Amruche. Now they go very direct, a little too direct. It needs a bit more to get past the Malawi back 4, and Brighton Montali dealing with that quite easily, although that wasn't the most convincing of clearances. It reached the other half. Cooper. Ngele. Matumo. The big man Ditsele just looking to somehow get the foot on the ball and string some passes in the middle of the park. But Malawi have come here for a scrap, no doubt about that. Gaswaini. Poor first touch from Ngele. So Botswana have to start again. It's a furious pace, isn't it? It's good to watch. And it needs some pretty good technical skills, which are not always being showed when it's a game this fast and players that are giving everything. It's a big, big match, a World Cup match this, remember, first round over 2 legs. Who will go through to face the big boys of African football? Is it Idana? Was a clever ball through. First touch, not the best from Mbulu. And a foul against John Banda. A little bit unlucky, I thought. Botswana getting to the final of the Kosovo Cup for the 2nd time this summer. The previous one was in 2016 where they lost to South Africa. It's a good performance, you know, getting to the final of the regional competition. And they have a chance here. They are through. There's a real chance on goal. What a save it was from Brighton Muntali. Kaswane was through. Kaswane really should have done better than that, and he knows it. 1-on-1. But you have to say Brighton Muntali stood up, and the message was, if you're going to score a goal, you've got to beat me. And good defending from Muntali, but Kaswane really should have scored from there. Sambani was beaten, but you have to say that was a top-notch save from Brighton Muntali. Muntali has been beaten once, the Silver Strikers goalkeeper, but that time he was determined not to be beaten, and that was a really good demonstration of the art of goalkeeping for any youngsters watching. He didn't just dive, he didn't commit himself, made the forward do the work, and that's really frustrating for Botswana. Gilt-edged chance that was. Mbulu getting a whack on the ankle, but gets up. It's been a physical encounter this, and a really entertaining match in Francistown. No goals. We've had a brilliant save. We've had a post hit. We've had some athletic tackling, let's put it that way. One thing is for sure, you can see what it means to these players. Brilliant work. Cooper, that's a lovely ball from Cooper as well. Oh, he's offside. Just offside on that far side was Setsile. I think the Kenyan officials got that just about right. Let's have a look. Yeah, indeed. At least a metre offside. Botswana go direct again. It worked pretty well last time. Nervy header back to the keeper from Sanudi, but this man, you have to say, will be pretty proud of himself after that save. And quite rightly too. A little over halfway through the first half. No goals, but plenty of action. An enjoyable match in Francistown. We're right on the eastern side of Botswana, landlocked nation in southern Africa. Population of a little under 3 million people, and many will be watching this match this afternoon. And he has a bit of police work to do. There's Anthony Aguayo. It's not an easy game to referee this one, I have to say. John Banda hits it wide. Chalopi down that right-hand side. The throw won by Chester. Haven't seen too much of Chester so far. Plays his football in North Carolina. I think there's a bit of a divot there in the turf that didn't help him at all. As Malawi go back to go forward. The men in red, a couple of let-offs so far, one brilliant save and one post. But that's football, you have to ride your luck, and let's see if they can do that. Played out wide by Ditsele. It's Gaxwane, who just missed a really good chance. Should have scored in the 23rd minute, should the midfield player. Just have to put that behind him. Another chance might come, and if it does, you have to put that one away. Goals are going to be precious over the 3 hours of football. Across that time was Sambani, the left back. Same player with the throw. Petro. John Banda. It's Sambani's cross a few minutes ago. I think we're looking at that again because the question of whether it was a penalty. Well, we have seen those given. Petro again. What a chance to show us what he can do with the ball, Petro, and that's a decent pass. It'll get a throw. Sambani down the left-hand side, applauding quite rightly. Lenenyane had to deal with that. The throw will be Sambani again. That time it wasn't the best throw. The throw was a little bit high to the thigh waist area. Always better to throw to a foot just to make the control easier, and there's no doubt that Adel Amaruche will be telling his players something along those lines at half-time, which is 15 minutes away. It's a better period for Malawi. They seem to have the ball under control. I say that, and they lose it. Botswana with the counter. Setsili with the pass. That's good tackle from Chalopi. He had to make that absolutely right, did Chalopi, and he did. Excellent tackle. Mango, still Mango, barging his way forward before being brought down. There's a bit of pushing and shoving, a little bit of sympathy for Mango. This was at the other end of the pitch. A really good challenge on Gaswane. Chalopi with the tackle. Had to get that 100% right, if not, could have been a penalty. Windy conditions, as you can probably pick up. Doesn't make it easy for the players or the fans, actually. They're quite well wrapped up here in Francistown. I'm sure a baking hot summer will come very soon, but for the moment it's quite a chilly day in eastern Botswana. Piri with that lovely left foot of his, drive it in. Maybe he was the player of the tournament at the regional Kosovo Cup just last month. Swings one in, it's a little bit too much on it. Yeah, the player from Baroka FC, 26 years old. Scored a quarter-final penalty against Zambia. That was the last time he found the mark for his nation. I wonder if he can get one today. Or on Tuesday, indeed. Thundering challenge from Sambani. Did well. And that was an offside. Cooper losing out. It could have been dangerous. Just a hack clear by Ditokwe. You can see Meke Moise urging his men on. Means so much to his team and his nation. I'm sure Malawi football fans will be right behind their team on Tuesday. I wonder what result they'll go back with. They could have conceded 1 or 2 already. If they go home on level pegging, I think they'll be pretty happy. But a lot of football to play between now and then. Is Petro looking for an option. Plays long, very long. That was always asking a lot of Mango, who's not the tallest. A chance for Botswana to come again with Lenenyane hitting it long, but that's a bit aimless. A little bit more craft needed. I think they need to get Cooper and Ngele in the game a little bit more. Do the Zebras, would it be the Zebras or the Flames in the second round, I wonder? Chalopi, first touch not the best. Was Chester at fault? As I was saying, Chester, who plays his football at North Carolina FC, which is not one of the top-tier teams in the US, but he does enjoy his time in the USA, and he's learning a lot. Shows the global nature of football these days. In the squad, we've got players based in Azerbaijan, in the USA, various parts of Southern Africa. It was a nice bit of play, wasn't it, from Ngele. Cooper cut out by Sambani. He's been pretty solid for me at left back. Go from left to right, as they do like to, with Sanudi. They're looking to get Chester into the game much more, because he is a powerful weapon for them. Just a little bit of a lull after a furious first 20-25 minutes, when both coaches, Mrouche and Moise, clearly told their players to go out and try and get an early goal. John Banda, who plays in Mozambique for UD Songo. Malawi have 6 professional foreign-based players in their squad. Mbulu, Piri, Banda, Ngalande and Chester, 2 based in the USA, 1 in Mozambique. The team prepared a training session in Pira village in Blantyre. Some of their subs warming up. Sambani to put it in the danger area, but that's the kind of ball I think the home defence will be fairly happy with and be able to deal with. As we see John Banda, a bit of frustration setting in with a Mozambique-based player. Nine minutes to go till the half-time break, and there'll be lots for the coaches to discuss with their players. I don't think they can fault any effort, any commitment. Who can craft a goal, I wonder? As Mango, the number 11, tries to win it back, fails to do that. Cooper, nicely played by Cooper. Lenenyane. Lenenyane again. Every challenge, every pass is 100% with the Botswana number 5. No holds barred kind of right back. Malawi again, looking for the big one, big man Mbulu up front. Banda. Botswana are putting in a huge effort in the middle of the pitch, though, to stop Malawi putting their passes together, which they have done that time with Mbulu. Can he keep it in just for the throw? Richard Mbulu plays in South Africa for Baroka FC. So Adel Amrouche. So Malawi with Chester. Nice play from Chester. The cross not quite as good as the approach play, but that does show what he can do. Very tricky right-sided player is Chester. Cat clear again from Lenenyane. Not too much craft on that, but well, it did the job. Got rid of any danger, but the Botswana fans just looking for a bit more from their players. Malawi, when they have the ball at their feet, looking the more settled of the two. Banda, Idana. He really felt that, didn't he, Idana? I think he might need some attention as well. It was a thundering challenge. Idana's left ankle was the target. There's Meke Mwaze. Mwaze was the caretaker boss before given a one-year deal in July. Let's see what he can do with his one-year tenure. It's rather typical of African nations with very short-term deals for their coaches. But the president of the Malawi Football Federation, Walter Yamilandu, said he was very, very happy with the work of his coach at the Qualifier Cup. The opposite coach, Adel Amrouche, looks a little bit less happy, one has to say. Petro hits it long. Botswana on the counter. What can they do with this? It's between centre-back and right-back, but it was dealt with fairly comfortably by Cholopi, and Sanuda did really well. Chester chasing after that, can't get to it. Did Sele, powerful figure, but the ball was taken off his boot legally. What can Malawi do with this? Mbulu. Chester to Sanudi. Mbulu again. It's inside to Piri, the danger man. That was completely miscued. Still very, very windy in Francistown. It doesn't make it any easier for the players. Botswana currently ranked 147 in the world. Once qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations, where they played 3, lost 3. They did beat Tunisia home and away in qualifying. That was one of the high points of the country's history. Playing this match in Francistown. The capital is Gaborone. But most of the national matches are played in this stadium. Nicely done from Dambe. Although I'm not sure if Amrouche will like that kind of play too much. Won't want to take any risks. Lenenyane. Setsile. It's Detsile just falling over himself. But Botswana come again. But nicely played by Piri. He's a touch of class in the middle of the park. Really is the number 10. Voted the top player of the Kosovo Cup, the regional Kosovo Cup, just 2 months ago. Ditsile, huge presence in the middle of the pitch. Cooper has gone to the left-hand side. So Botswana come again. It is to the right-hand side. Setsile, good defending from Malawi. Just getting the numbers between Setsile and the goalkeeper. Here's Detsile. Hit long, and the challenge from Sambani was just about good enough to thwart any attack, and Detsile, not for the first time, goes through on Piri. Still think we've got something left in the box from this man, Piri, the number 10. Here he is again, Piri. That was a lovely ball played through to Mango. A diminutive striker. Not too far away, Gabadino Mango. Plays for the Orlando Pirates in South Africa. Joined the team in Johannesburg en route to Botswana just a couple of days ago. As I was saying, he plays in South Africa. The team that's most represented is Niase Big Bullets, the Malawi champions. They have 10 players in the original 27-man squad. And as I was saying, 6 professionals based outside of Malawi. So it's now or never in the first half. Mango, whoa! Mango thought he was brought down. And he had a decent shout for a penalty there, did Gabadino Mango. That's well, Brighton Tali miscues the clearance. And at both ends of the pitch, it could have been danger. Mango not happy at all with the challenge. And Montali, I don't think he'll be too happy with the clearance. But we stay at 0-0. That's been the story of this first half. Plenty of incidents. We've come close on 3-4 occasions, but it's still 0-0. Another thundering challenge. What will referee Ogwayo say about that? Again, he has some police work to do. And for the first time in the match, this is threatening to boil over. Judge that tackle for yourself. But it's thankfully it's just before half-time, and it might be the chance to cool down because the left boot was slightly high there, wasn't it? Certainly Chester is not happy. And a yellow card has come out. I'm not sure if it's for the tackler or if it's for something that's been said since. But Chester is on the turf. And as you can probably hear from the pitch side microphones, there's lots of chit-chat going on. Yamikani Chester has barely moved since that challenge. Well, you can see what Meke Moise thinks of it. He was sure that that was a bookable challenge. Certainly full-blooded. Quite rightly, Anthony Ogwayo just telling both sets of players, go back, keep away from each other. And this was that challenge. I think it was clumsy more than anything else. Gaswaini will avoid a yellow card. So the tackle from Gaswaini on Chester means that we're into the 3rd minute of stoppage time. Chester will have a chance to get some treatment at half-time, and there's a bit of an argument between the referee and the medical staff from Malawi. I think quite rightly saying, look, we want to strap up our player. But I think that's the end of the first half. It might just be sensible to call half-time now and allow Chester to get the treatment in the dressing room. Fans not happy, and Anthony Ogwayo is not the happiest referee either. I think he's just saying play, play, play. Chester gets up. And it's a curious end to the first half. There's plenty of smiles as well. I think there's some fans trying to keep warm. It's not the warmest day that the residents of Francistown have ever experienced. It's 0-0 in the 4th minute because there was some treatment to Chester, so there might be a few seconds left. Lenignane. The pass was poor. Sambani's defending was good. That should be that for the first half. And indeed it is. The major incident was right at the start. 6th minute, Mogorossi hitting the post with a speculative shot. We've had some thunderous tackles from Lenignane, the right back from Botswana. And Kaswane forced a really good save from Brighton Muntali midway through that first half. It is 0-0 after 45 minutes. Botswana 0, Malawi 0, but we've had a very entertaining first period, and it looks like there will be goals in the second half. But for the moment, it's 0-0 in this first round of African qualifying for the World Cup. But don't go away, second half coming up. Welcome back. Francistown is the venue for Botswana against Malawi. It's 0-0 at half-time, but we've had plenty of incidents in the first half. No goals. There was a post hit early on. Mogorosi, the forward from Botswana, hitting the post. And we've had some pretty wild tackling going in as well. Just the one yellow card so far from Linenyane, who's the right back for Botswana. The visitors came close as well with an early shot from Piri, who's been dangerous for them, as well as Gabadino Mango, who's one of their key players as well down the left-hand side, who's been busy, as you would expect. But no goals. This is African World Cup qualifying. We're underway in the second half. Who will be the 5 nations from this continent heading to Qatar, I wonder? It wasn't the best World Cup, was it, the last one in Russia? 4 African teams. Egypt losing all 3 games. Nigeria and Tunisia winning 1 and losing 2 each. Morocco getting 1 draw. That was with Spain. And Senegal winning 1, losing 1 and drawing 1. It was Egypt, Morocco, Nigeria, Tunisia and Senegal from Africa in 2018. Who will be there, I wonder, in 2022? It's a long, long qualifying process. 1,170 days ahead of us. We have 14 home and away ties before a long group stage. And then there'll be 10 home and away matches. 10 teams, rather, in home and away matches to decide the 5 teams going through. So, Botswana, right to left, in the blue shirts. Can they find the breakthrough? The onus is very much on them, because they will not want to go to Malawi without some kind of lead. Let's see if they can get that. Malawi have looked dangerous, and it's going to be really interesting to see if they can get Mango in the game much more. Number 11, Orlando Pirates player, who's been sent crashing to the turf, not for the first time. Mango looking for a 5th international goal, in fact, in his 21st game. First cross of the second half. It goes through to the big man, Mbulu. Mbulu, just for a split second, thought he had a shot on goal. But Botswana dealt with it. Cooper, crafty midfield player, got a nice touch for him, but just overhit that slightly. And it was Ditokwe, not taking any risks. Botswana ranked 147 in the world. Their opponents today, 126. Malawi have qualified for a couple of African Cup of Nations in 1984 and in 2010, when they famously beat Algeria. Do you remember that one? 3-0 in Luanda, but they didn't go through. Who will go through from this one, I wonder? It's the first corner of the second half. It's for the hosts, Botswana, in Francistown. The fans urging their men on. And Gele will take the kick once our referee is happy that everything is in order. So Anthony Ogwayo just wanting to make sure, I think, that the Malawi keeper, Brighton Montali, is not being impeded or pushed or blocked. He's quite right. He's got the huge figure of Chalopi right in front of him. So, Ngele, it's whipped in, it's a decent one, but it's dealt with. Actually, Mbulu was at the near post. Good defending by the big man, and an attack here for Mango. Malawi with a chance on the counter. It's come all the way to this near side. Idana doesn't really have any options ahead of him. Piri, and I think a player's gone down there. Piri putting the ball out. Yeah, saw something was amiss, and Meke Mboise. That's something to be worried about. I think there was a clash there at the corner. Brighton Montali just making sure that his teammate's okay. Anthony Aguayo calls for the stretcher, quite rightly. We're going to have the first substitute of the afternoon. So Kabata is coming on, as is Magantai, the numbers 13 and 10 respectively. And look out for Magantai, one of their better players. This is his 10th cap. Plays for Orapu United, and he had a brilliant 2018 Kosovo Cup. Did Magantai. He was the scorer of 3 goals in the group stage, and again 1 in the quarter-final. So look out for Ogunbetse Magantai, the number 10. He can score goals. So Sambani is okay. So Magantai on and Kabato is on as well. So play resumes. And, good sportsmanship showed by Botswana, giving the ball back to Brighton Montali. So let's see if Magantai can change the course of the match, give them a little bit more craft up front. Give them some new ideas. The last 10-15 minutes weren't that great for Botswana, I have to say. They seemed to create the better chances earlier on and then ran out of ideas. So Magantai, South African Cup winner, no less. Although he hasn't scored for his country for 3 years. To confirm that Gaswaini has gone off. He was very close to scoring in the first half. He had a very good chance, but it was a good save from Brighton Montali in the 23rd minute. Probably should have done better. I think that affected him after that. Seemed to lose a bit of confidence. It was a very good chance that he missed, but all credit to the Malawi goalkeeper. So Magantai is on, look out for him, number 10, and Kabato, the number 13. Early stages of the second half, still no goals, but it's been an engrossing match. Certainly enjoyed it. Hope you have as well. And there's a lot at stake with a place in the second round of World Cup qualifying. Galalaway nearly getting himself into trouble. Then he got Lenyana into trouble. Have to be very careful of that with players like Piri there. Here is Piri, still Piri. He's going to win a free kick, surely. Well, no. I was very surprised, and so were half the Malawi players. And Piri can't believe it. Gerald Piri, the player of the tournament in the Kosovo Cup. Well, for me, that was a free kick, but the referee decides. Mbulu, still Mbulu. He's worked really hard today. Mango, was that a foul? That time, yes. I think it was the accumulation of 2 fouls there, wasn't it? But Mango has probably got one of the bigger reputations on the pitch. Right left foot, and brought down that time by Ditseli. So this is a really nicely placed free kick, isn't it? And I've seen Piri score goals from here, the number 10, off the left boot. There's a couple of players who fancy their chances for Malawi. John Banda. The wall going further and further back. Cooper just looking to hold things up a little bit. But this is a nicely placed free kick for Malawi. And their two top players are hovering over the ball, Mango and Piri. Feisty character, isn't he? Mango, the number 11, but I think it's going to be Piri to take it. The wall is in place. He's taken his time. And it is going to be Gerald Piri. Oh, off the post! What a strike from Piri, so unlucky. And that's a let off for Malawi. He did absolutely everything right there, apart from being about 2-3 centimetres out. Piri got his boot behind that. Dambe was beaten, and for the second time, a post is hit, and desperately unlucky there, Gerald Piri. A real let-off there for Botswana, and they can't afford to give free kicks away in that dangerous part of the pitch again. And this time it's Malawi ruining the post on that right-hand side of the pitch. Earlier on, Mogorossi hit the post, and Piri has there. He's a really classy player, is Gerald Piri. He always looked confident to me. Oh, he strode up, looked good, but a couple of centimetres out. The keeper was way beaten, as you can see. There was no way Dambe was getting that. And off the post. Botswana fans will say, well, we hit the post as well. So that's 1-1. It's 0-0, but it has not been a boring 0-0 by any stretch of the imagination. We've had lots of talking points, some good saves, a couple of posts hit, some agricultural tackling. And I'd be very surprised indeed if it stays 0-0. It's poor old Mango. He's switched to the right. Malawi really have the bit between their teeth. Mbulu, thundering tackle. Needed two Botswana defenders to finally stop him. And Malawi have come out in the second half believing they can win it. Meke Mwaze clearly telling his players that no, he doesn't want to go back with a 0-0. He wants a win. And they've started this second half pretty well for me, have Malawi. There's the substitute, Magantai, for Botswana, looking to prove me wrong. And come Malawi again with Banda. Still no goals. There haven't been too many goals so far in the first leg of qualifying. Top scorers so far are Liberia getting 3 against Sierra Leone, Rwanda and Sudan 3 on the road each. I don't think anyone's going to score 3 here, but both teams have hit the post and come close. John Banda. It's a good ball out on this near side to Sanudi. Thundering challenge on Mango again. My word, Mango knows he's been in a match. Gabadino Mango. (26 years old. And probably the best known player in Malawi football at the moment. Certainly doing well in South African football. Another tackle on Mbulu, who's just got up and done his work, hasn't complained, but he's received some tough tackling. And another one there, Mbulu, and just gets up again. Sometimes players accused of rolling around and diving. No one can accuse Richard Mbulu of that this afternoon. He's felt the full force of Galolwe and Matumo. Is the number 9 from Malawi. And Malawi have made a couple of tactical changes. Mango has come to this right-hand side. He was playing down the left in the opening period. What can Botswana do? Haven't really done anything in the second half, attacking-wise. Ball was lost that time. Mogorotsi coming back, and what can Malawi do with it? Game is opening up in the second half. Mbulu can't quite get to that. Botswana come again. There's a player on the turf. The player is Mogorotsi, the man who hit the post early on, Joel Mogorotsi. Two subs so far have both been for Botswana. Magantai and Kebato coming on. And it's been a physical game. Mogorotsi has been on the end of some tough tackling, but no one has suffered more than Mango. He's done very well to carry on as Gabadino Mango. I'm not sure if Mogorotsi will. Looks in a bit of trouble as well. That was the challenge. It's in the midriff from Chester, a player based in North Carolina. Play will go on. And the hosts down to 10 temporarily. They've made two subs, so I think Adel Amrouche will hesitate to make a third right now, especially with players so important as Mogorotsi. Kebato. Kebato, the substitute, gets it across. Malawi deal with it. Sanudi. I think the hosts need to up their pace a bit, find some of that enthusiasm, teamwork that we saw in the first 10-15 minutes, where they really went for the jugular, made some good chances, really stopped Malawi playing. It's fair to say Malawi technically slightly the better team out there. So Brighton Montali, who made one very, very important save middle of the first half. It's one of the main reasons why it's 0-0. Will it stay that way at the end, I wonder? Cooper. Leninyani. Cooper. Cooper trying to do a little bit too much there, maybe. Out-hustled by three red shirts. Piri. Sanudi. Did he go for the cross? He does, but that's asking really a lot, although did nearly come to Mbulu. It was a nice dummy from Mango. Piri coming deep, very deep. Amrouche will be fairly happy if Piri's in that part of the pitch. Mango, Sanudi. Sanudi again. Just barged off the pitch, but completely illegally. Hacked out by Galalwe. There is Moshe Galalwe. A busy afternoon, hasn't he? No doubt that Malawi have been the better team in the second half. And that's a worry for Adel Amrouche. But still 0-0, nothing in it. Magantai. Cooper. It's not the best of passes. Mogorotsi had a bit of work to get to that. It's a little bit laboured now. Ditsele, the big man, a powerful presence. Malawi win it back in a dangerous part of the pitch. As well, won by John Banda. They have 3-4 players up now. Malawi on the attack, but the pass is not the best. Disappointment there from Chester. Chester and Mango have flipped flanks with Chester now down the left. These fans would love to see their boys get on the mark this afternoon. as Dambe clears his lines. Malawi have looked pretty good in the second half for me. Did Sele. Comes through to Mogorossi, who's playing a bit deeper in this second half. Maybe frustration. One of their better players looking to get on the ball more. Ditokwe. Cooper. Just barged out. Nothing wrong with that from Malawi. Banda, the number 17, he's such a busy character in the middle. He's won so many 50-50s. Sanudi, no one can doubt his work rate either. And the tackle is one, and the throw is one from Peter Cholopi. The return match will be played at the Kamuzi Stadium in Blantyre, the second city. Neither of these matches being played in the capitals, interestingly enough. It's a big stadium, it can fit 65,000, but often for security reasons it's reduced. But if it stays like this, that's a big if. The Flames will be pretty confident, I think. They've been the better team in the second half. Sanudi hits it long, looking for Mbulu. Headed out by Galalwe. That's been the pattern of this second half. Botswana have had to defend. Zebras on the back foot. Banda wins it again. Does he get the foul? No. It's an advantage played. Mbulu. Hit well wide that time. And the Botswana fans getting a bit, I think, frustrated with what's going on. Certainly gave as good as they got in the first half, did the boys in blue, but second half Malawi have been very impressive for me. They've hit the post, Piri, from a free kick. Galalwe hits it long, looking for one of the strikers, Mogorotsi or Magantai. Setsile is playing just behind the front two. So Coach Amruchi just asking his men to calm down, make the most of this free kick, put it in the danger area. Motuzi Cooper been taking most of the free kicks, a slightly built character, but very, very technically gifted. Well, it's not going to be him finally. Ditokwe, the left back, trots over. Simple ball played into the box, but dealt with fairly simply as well. And Banda hacks it high into the Francistown sky. Need to be a little bit cleverer than that, I think, Botswana, to get past the Malawi back four that's looked pretty comfortable, apart from the first 10-15 minutes when they were rocking. So he's Setsile. Mogorotsi, we're seeing him all over the pitch, Mogorotsi. On the right, the left, and quite deep as well. It's going to be a free kick going the Malawians' way. One of the reasons that it's so important to get to the second round, of financial benefits, of course. The Confederation of African Football do help with considerable travel costs, accommodation and so on for some long, long journeys in the four-team group. Some financial difficulties in Botswana football at the moment. The FA recently said that they will relegate teams that fail to pay their players. Footballers Union of Botswana said that up to 10 of the 16 teams weren't paying their players last year because of financial problems. So let's hope that problem can be resolved. "21 minutes left, and it's a real surprise there's been no goals. Nice work from Sambani. John Banda driving forward, not for the first time. Piri, really nice player to watch, isn't he? Gerald Piri always seems to have a bit of time on the ball, space. He's hit the post as Piri. Idana doing a good job, the midfield player, helping out the back four, clearing his lines. Cooper, what do Botswana have left in the tank, I wonder, in the last 20 minutes? Well, they have a free kick, won by the sub, Kabato. Thankfully, the second half is a little bit easier to referee for Mr. Ogwayo. It wasn't easy in the first half. There were some thundering challenges. Well, that one was pretty tough as well, wasn't it? Mbulu, a centre-forwards tackle, let's put it that way. So there's, what, 13, 14 players within a few metres of each other as Moshe Galalwe hits it in. But again, Malawi deal with it fairly easily, one has to say. They've been pretty solid in the second half on the counter-attack. Chester thwarted. Still no subs from Malawi. Free kick Botswana's way. On the bench, Malawi have Robin Galande, centre forward, who is based in Azerbaijan for Zira FK. He scored for his country. World Cup qualification all the way back in 2013. I wonder if we'll see him in the second half. Mbulu might be tiring. He's worked really hard, I have to say, Richard Mbulu up front. Setsile will take the corner. Swings it in. It's a decent one. There are 2-3 Botswanas looking to get ahead on it, but the men in red did just enough. Decent corner, wasn't it? But good defending from Idana, putting his body where it hurts. Before the 2014, Botswana got to the second round of qualifying for the World Cup after beating Eritrea 2-1 and 2-0 and 3-1, excuse me. They went out in the second round. That was a knockout system against Mali, 3-2. How far will they go this time, I wonder? I think they'll need a goal here if they're in with a chance, because it's going to be a tough match in Blantyre. Malawi have shown they have attacking weapons. Piri and Mango have done really well, been dangerous. And in Richard Mbulu, they have a target man. Someone who's always going to cause trouble for the centre-backs. Felt that Mbulu, didn't he? But as usual, gets up, carries on with his game. Not a centre-forward to complain and to the referee or dive in any way at all. He's a very honest pro, it's Mbulu. We're into the last 15 minutes. Surprisingly, still no goals, but Malawi despite hitting the post, will be pretty happy if they make the journey back home with a 0-0 in their pocket. Will there be late drama, I wonder? Chester guilty of that foul, and it's in a dangerous area. Bit of push and shoving going on in and around the penalty box. So again, Sealy with the set piece. Sealy drills it in, but again, John Banda has had a really good game for me, the number 17, both ends of the pitch. There is a first change for Malawi, and surprisingly, Mango's going off. Got a knock or two. He was really in the wars, wasn't he? And the player I was talking about is going to come on, Robin Galande. So Galande on for Mango. It should be like for like, both attacking midfield players. Danger not over there, but Brighton Montali deals with that, no problem. See exactly where Galande fits in tactically. We see that last incident. Sealy with the overhead, no one on the end of it. Galande, the number 14. So Mbulu nearly got a side of goal there. Just hasn't stopped running all afternoon, the big man. So I'm saying look out for Robin Galande, the player based in Azerbaijan. That's a long journey, isn't it, to Malawi eventually and Botswana. He has scored a goal in World Cup qualifying against Kenya in 2013. Hack long by Chalopi up to Mbulu. And there's a bit of a lull. I'm sure there'll be some late fireworks, especially the home team will have to go for it. Not a disaster, a 0-0 at home. It'll definitely leave Malawi as favourites. I think they've played the better football in the second half of Malawi. Flames doing well. Mbulu. Although he's shooting like that, struggled to score in the return leg. And the final sub for the hosts. And again, a bit of a surprise. Mogorossi going on, the target man, hit the post early on. And it looks like Odebonye coming on, indeed. Odebonye, the number 2. Wears the number 2, but does play in a very offensive position for his team. Odebonye is on. All 3 subs have been used by coach Amrouche. Let's see if the last one, Odebonye, can make a difference. Well, that's mission impossible for Galanda, who looks like going down the right-hand side, in fact, and Chester's going to go back down the left. Thought for a second Chester might revert to the left, but Chester's on the right, Galande on the right. You're watching World Cup qualification action. It's Botswana 0, Malawi 0. A little over 10 minutes to play. There's the substitute, Odebonye. It's a big bustling centre forward. Very hard to get off the ball. Not the most mobile, more of a battering ram type figure. It's nicely played from Chester. He hasn't tied at all. Challenging on Bulu again. Really felt the weight of the Botswana defenders, but gets up again, no complaints. Nice ball through to Chester again. Mbulu. Chester, sliding tackle. It comes back to Mbulu. We didn't like that challenge. Well, that time he did complain, Richard Mbulu. It was a reckless challenge. Thankfully, no harm done. Malawi come again. Is there a free kick? Piri asking for one. They don't get it. It's end-to-end stuff now. This is the kind of World Cup action we love. Knockout action. It's Botswana against Malawi. Only one of these two teams will go through to the group stage. Ditokwe to the substitute Olebonye, but there was an offside, I think, there. Frustration for Botswana. As I was saying, I've struggled for goals of late. They only scored one goal in their 6 Africa Cup of Nations qualifying matches. Coach Adel Amrouche, when he was brought in, he said he wanted to make his team less naive. He said, quote, "I have a challenge, I've seen the Zebras play, but there's naivety in their football despite the talent." I'll let you judge that for yourself. I don't think they've shown too much naivety today. They have a 0-0, which is not catastrophic. And I think they would have wanted to take a lead to Malawi next week. Amrouche replaced David Bright, who was a long-term coach of Botswana, several stints as coach. It's going to be fascinating to see what Amrouche can do with this bunch of players. He's got a 3-year deal, which is unusual in African football. Time is running out, though, for the hosts. Still 0-0. Mbulu will run and run all night. Doesn't win the ball, but his team wins possession. Piri. Sanudi. Hasn't put a foot wrong for me, Sanudi at right back. Done pretty well. Piri. Piri again, his passing's been really good. Enjoyed watching Gerald Piri this afternoon. Here he is again. Piri, you can see why he was the player of the tournament, can't you? The Qatar Cup, a classy character. Cleared by Ditokwe. Danger not over yet. That's surely a foul against Sanudi. Not given. And you could see what the Malawi bench think of that. It was surely a push in the back. Meke Mwazi didn't think so. No foul against Olebonye. And that's gone the other way. Just for a split second, I think some Botswana fans thought it was a penalty, but no. He certainly added something, Olebonye. He's a powerful character up front, isn't he? That time it was the other substitute, Kabato, doing the pushing and shoving. Botswana resorting to a lot of long balls now, just hoping to bring in Olebonye, the substitute. Kabato Malawi have dealt with the Botswana offence pretty well, I have to say, in the second half. I don't think Brighton Montali has had much to do. Just looking down my notes here, hasn't really had a touch. Piri. John Banda. It's going to make the goalkeeper do some work. He's dropped the ball, and thankfully for him, he's got away with it. Dambe, as he came to the ground, dropped the ball, and it really could have gone anywhere, the ball there, and thankfully for the hosts, it didn't go to a Malawi player. As you can see here, it was a long, pretty aimless ball played up. Chester was there, and as so often happens, as the keepers come to the turf, they drop the ball, and Chester thought there was a foul, you know, screaming for a penalty. It was 50-50, we've seen those given. So move into the last 5 minutes, still no goals, but it's been an entertaining 0-0. Lots of incidents. Looks like ending goalless. Let's see, 5 minutes to play. Free kick to Malawi. The winners of this two-legged tie, remember, go into the group stage. This time it's held more comfortably by Dambe, where there'll be 10 groups of 4. It's getting a little bit ragged now, isn't it? The players tiring, and they can be forgiven for that. Every player on the pitch has worked really hard today. Been physical, it's been fast. No goals. So both coaches will have something to take away from this match. And Mbulu, he's never stopped running. I'm not sure has much in the tank does Mbulu, but he'll be there for the return, I'm sure, on Tuesday. And with Pidi and Mango behind him, they're going to be a dangerous front three for Malawi. Botswana want to travel northeast with a lead. Ditsele. Ditokwe. A little bit short of ideas, Botswana now, though. That's all credit to Malawi. Mbulu. On his own, well, why not go for the strike? Hasn't had much help, especially since Mango went off. Botswana coming again. There's 2 in the box. Do they have the corner? They do. And Chalopi is furious that that was given. He was convinced it came off a Botswana boot. Fans on their feet, sensing this might be the moment. There are 6, 7 in the box. The delivery is good, and it's against the post. Danger run over, and it's just gone wide. It was the header from Orebonye, originally from Botswana, and frustration for the Zebras for the 3rd time this afternoon. We've seen the post hit, and I don't think the fans can quite believe it. It was a super delivery from the corner. And somehow it didn't go in. The header from Orebonye, and then the second header from Ditsele. That was a towering header from Orebonye. Really unlucky that that didn't go in, but we've said that a few times this afternoon. Well, the sub is denied. We're in the last minute of play, and for the second time, Botswana hit the post. Early on, it was Mogorotsi, there it was Orebonye. Between the two, for me, Malawi have been a slightly better team, but it doesn't matter. It's a question of who scores. Malawi have hit the post themselves through the man on the ball now, Piri. He's given it to Banda and a let-off for Malawi. They didn't quite defend that well enough. That corner, that'll be a real test for them on Tuesday for the return match. Getting themselves into a bit of trouble there, did Tokwe. That wasn't a very clever thing to do. With Mbulu ploughing, Mbulu just wide. That might be the last chance for the visitors. Richard Mbulu didn't have too much on. You can't blame him for having a go. As we move into stoppage time, there'll be 3 minutes of it. I was wondering if there's going to be late drama. Well, there was. Orobonye hitting the post. The substitute, only been on 12 minutes. It's very direct. Botswana heading into the penalty area again. Just hacked anywhere that time. And Malawi now will be absolutely delighted to go home with a 0-0. After seeing their post hit twice, they played good football. That's a couple of let-offs for them. Piri clears. Is there time for one last chance, I wonder? It's going to have to be very quick. Lanyane. It's going to be hit long by Matumo. Galalway's gone up, the big centre-back. Throwing everything now at the Malawi back four. We're just about holding firm. Put into the box, was there an offside? No, the header comes in and it's held by Brighton Muntali. And there was no offside. Kabato with the header. And a very relieved Brighton Muntali holds the ball to his chest and will clear. Knocked in there. And Kabato getting in the header when he probably shouldn't have had the right to. Again, a substitute thwarted. Botswana want to get on with it. Setsile trying to grab the ball off a visiting player. I think that might be a bit late now, though. Well, Dambe's just going to whack it long. Frustration in these last few minutes for Botswana. Orobonye hitting the post. Kabato going close. They've given everything the last few minutes. Brighton Muntali has it, and that should be that. I'm sure Meke Moise will take this 0-0. Getting the coach go home and just tell his players that it could have been worse. They played okay, but they've seen their post hit twice. But they will be favourites ahead of the second leg. Unless there's something very, very late here. Some tired legs out there. Piri. Galande wants it this near side. Piri's in the box. Quite happy to let the clock tick. And they have the corner. Will there be time to take it is the question. Chester was on the end of that challenge. Some frustration from Ditsele. I said a challenge, it was two or arguably three challenges. The foot went in and then a high elbow. Chester knows he's been in a match today. So will there be time for this corner? We're in the 5th minute of stoppage time. Surely the last action. It's in the danger. And Mbulu with a header! Just wide. And that is the end of the match. A match that's seen the post hit 3 times, plenty of chances. One super save in the first half from Brighton Muntali. And somehow it's still goalless. Malawi, the happier team, as you would expect. They had their chances as well, with Gerald Peary hitting the post from a free kick. Plenty of smiles at the end, although the hosts will be disappointed that they didn't get the breakthrough. Early on, Mogorossi hitting the post, and right at the death, hitting the post from a corner. It's finished Botswana 0, Malawi 0. Honours even, the post hit 3 times. Brighton Muntali making one exceptional save in the first half. The players gave absolutely everything today, but it's finished 0-0 ahead of the second leg on Tuesday in Malawi. So the Botswana players thanking their fans who cheered their men on for the whole 90 minutes, seeing their team hit the post twice. But it finished 0-0 after the first leg, second leg on Tuesday. Hope you've enjoyed the action, 0-0. So both of these teams still fancy them with a chance of getting through to the second round. Malawi, the narrow favourites, but it's 0-0 after the first leg. Hope you've enjoyed the action. A very good evening to you.